my little party animals. Hip Hip Renee here today, and it is day God knows what of quarantine, and morale is higher than ever. Today we are doing a speed build, but if you notice, I did not build the shell on camera. That is because this is my take on my Hip Hip 411 shell. So if you guys haven't been following me on Twitter or paying attention to when I very rarely stream on Twitch, then you might not know that I have started doing shell challenges. Now there are hundreds of people out there who do shell challenges. Everybody has a shell challenge constantly. I love them. I love a good shell challenge because there's some days that I just go into the game and I'm like, ugh, like I want to build, but like I want something to like already kind of be done for me. I don't really want to put in the full effort to build the entire house, but I would really like to furnish something right now. So I don't know about you guys. I feel that way all of the time. All of the time. I enjoy building, but there are just some days that I go into the game and I'm like, I don't want to. I really just don't want to. So I have started doing my own shell challenges. Now I started these back in March and they went about as well as expected. I had, a few entries. I would tour them. They were phenomenal. It was always really fun. But this last shell challenge that I did, I started it right at the beginning when everybody was starting to get these stay-at-home orders. Obviously, we are all kind of in a weird situation right now where very, very many of us are home far more frequently than we normally would be. So we have a lot more time, some of us, to play video games or to hang out or to, pick up a hobby or get crafts done or whatever it is that you want to do. Everybody is kind of, doing their own thing and really figuring out, what is going to make me happy while I am stuck at home. And the thing that's been making me happy is going through your shell builds from the shells that I've been doing. So I started doing them, very exciting. This last one though, like I said, I started it right at the beginning of quarantine. So I got so many more entries than I could have ever anticipated. I think I had like 40 something entries to this shell challenge, and it was overwhelming at times. There were people who took this shell and turned it into a 64 by 64 Airbnb like luxury resort. Like the amount of just sheer creativity that came out of this shell, I was flabbergasted. Like, you guys are so incredibly creative, and I was so impressed with what every single person did with this build. If you want to watch those tours back, I did upload them to YouTube, so you can definitely go check out those videos. Be warned, they are like 3 hours long each, so they are fairly long, but you are going to see some really, really incredible creations if you decide to take a peek at those videos. So of course we are in the midst of our next shell challenge. I put it out a few days ago on Twitter, I believe. I put it up in a few Facebook groups, and the entries are already rolling in. I have had people messaging me to clarify the rules and everything. I am so excited for this next one. But I figured before the next one, I should kind of show you guys what I had in mind when I was building this shell. Now, I don't know if other creators who do shell challenges also do this. Let me know in the comments down below if you're somebody that creates shell challenges, how you kind of go about doing your shells, because I'm really curious where you kind of take your ideas from. I personally, when I create a shell with almost kind of a rough idea of the finished product in mind. I knew when I was building this shell that what I intended for it to be was a very bright, eco kind of friendly looking modern home, maybe a little bit too upscale for the neighborhood it's in, maybe a little bit too bougie, but with some, nice little personal accents kind of around the lot. That was the idea I had just going into the shell. I had not even started actually creating the rest of this house, but that was my idea going into the shell. And there are quite a few people that totally hit the nail on the head with what I was originally anticipating for this shell. And then there were some people that just went so far beyond what I could have ever imagined for this shell. I'm going to just name a few of them right now. I apologize if I don't remember all of the creators' names, but again, you can watch the playback. The first one that super impressed me was, of course, Silly Simmas. Silly Simmas did this crazy, like, city block. So he took this build, added extensions onto the sides of it, added and built up from this first level, and he did this whole city block. He had like a little boutique, he had like a little furniture store, he had a few apartments around, he had some nice walkways going through the lot. It was just so over the top creative and awesome, and I super loved it. It was really, really, really cool. Another one, I believe the username is Shy26, and it's SHYYY26, created a 64 by 64 lot in Del Sol Valley that was an upscale Airbnb community. And holy crap, this place was like the Maldives. Like, it was insanely detailed. It was insane. They had a freaking waterfall. That's, I mean, like, you know, how bougie is your Airbnb that there's just like a waterfall at the Airbnb? Like, come on, how expensive would that? It was amazing. It was absolutely incredible. And then there was one other that really stuck out in my mind, and someone turned this into like a Starbucks-esque cafe and actually used kind of the little area between those two giant columns and the structure itself. They made a drive-through. They literally made a drive-through, and it was the coolest and cutest and most clever thing. They put cars in the drive-through. They had little arrows telling the cars which way to go. It was just like so beyond clever and fun to just look around, and they had this whole little employee area. It was just super cute. It was super cute. I really liked that one too. But I wanted to show off what I would have done with this house. And of course it's, you know, titled Not Another Modern House, because we all know the tea on Renee and modern houses. If you don't know the tea on Renee and modern houses, you should probably head over to Silly Simmas' channel, where he exposes me as a modern builder. I still stand by the fact that I'm not a modern builder. I do think the exterior of this house actually came out really, really good, and I do think it looks super, super modern, but I struggle so hard with modern interiors. I cannot even begin to accept, because I feel like they look so barren, and I know that they kind of should, because a lot of modern builds are like minimalism, but I don't know. I have to put a lot of items down, and it fills my soul with joy to do it. And I can't do, this is me actually genuinely freaking out about this right now, by the way. I really can't do the whole minimalism thing. I need someone to do a tutorial on how to do modern interiors. What kind of color palettes to use, what kind of walls and flooring, what the best kitchen items to use in a modern build are. Like, I want somebody to walk me through step by step how to properly decorate and furnish a modern house. Somebody do that for me. I don't know what I can do for you in return, but if you did that for me, that would be phenomenal. Or if anybody already knows of any tutorials on how to properly furnish modern homes, please, dear Lord, send them to me, because I need help. I really need help. Like I said, I do enjoy how the exterior of this house came out, but the interior, I don't know. I feel like it's really towing the line between modern and, like, I don't know, almost like a little bohemian rustic kind of thing, which I guess they could kind of go together. I don't know. It's The Sims. You know what? Live your best life, guys. Do whatever makes you happy. I don't know. I will say, for the interior, this bathroom is my favorite room in the entire house. I did this recently in one of my room builds. I did a master bedroom based off of a bed that I hate in the game, and I did a bathroom very similar to this in that build, where I actually made it a fairly, like, it's a fairly large bathroom here, guys. I made it pretty big, and then I added a window in from the master bedroom to the bathroom. I don't know. I feel like in real life, this would be a really weird situation, but I don't know. It feels almost kind of like an upscale hotel would kind of have, you know, like a window looking over the giant bathtub or something. I don't know. I just really like this idea, and I figured since this kind of screamed single sim house, or maybe even a couple, because again, it is only one bedroom. I don't know, I felt like it wasn't that big of a deal that you could really see into the bathroom. I guess I probably should have put a curtain over the window so you couldn't just like, you know, like look over at your partner pooping. I don't think that's a thing that we want to do with our partners. But you know, hindsight's 20/20, I suppose. So we are finally at the end of this build. We're heading through the screenshots now. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this build. I, again, thank every single person who entered in a finished product for this shell. If you want to check out the new shell, you can go to my gallery. It's Hip Hip Renee. The new shell, the hashtag is hashtag HipHipShell425. And 425 is because that is the date that I'm going to be touring the houses, or starting to tour the houses, is April 25th. So that's how I've been doing all of the shell hashtags. So if you do end up furnishing that shell, just make sure you upload it back to the gallery with that hashtag in the description so I can find it, because I don't want to have to search for things because I'm lazy. So thanks, guys. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Make sure you guys hit that thumbs up button down below, and make sure you are subscribed if you are not yet. Thank you guys so much for being here, and I will see you next time. Bye.